Disability is a minority that has been featured in some way throughout Hollywood history. Disability studies has been a new form of studies. Margaret Shildrick, 2012, has stated that the studies of disability is not affected entirely by having the disability itself, but even more so by the external factors such as social and cultural belief. Even more, the assumption of disability is known in society as being weak, and therefore thinking disability is a form of weakness, but not necessarily, because disabilities can be a source of strength and is caused more by the thought and mindset. We will be looking into disability theories in movies and the significance and its impact. A classic Disney 2003 animation film by Pixar, Finding Nemo, talks about a disability with the characters. It looks at the life between two fish, a father and son who get in an argument and are later separated from each other. The main character is Nemo, a fish that has a lucky fin, so called, that is smaller than his other fin. It is the first disability that can be interpreted in the film for us. A visible impairment that sometimes gives Nemo difficulty when trying to do things in the ocean. Several times during the movie, people question why Nemo fin looks the way it does. This is a form of disability showcase in movies.
You're okay. How's the lucky fin?
Lucky.
Let's see.
After being separated from his father, Nemo decides to go on a journey to find his father, and he stumbles upon a character named Dory and becomes his friend. Dory, the character, suffers from short-term memory loss. When in parts of the movie, she has difficulty remembering location and names. This disability characteristics of ADHD with her inability at times to focus and not being able to stay in one place.
Wait a minute! What is going on? You already told me which way the boat was going!
I did? Oh, no.
If this is some kind of practical joke, it's not funny! And I know funny! I'm a clownfish!
No, it's not. I know it's not. I'm so sorry. See, I suffer from short-term memory loss.
Short-term memory loss. I don't believe this.
No, it's true. I forget things almost instantly. It runs in my family. Well, I mean, at least I think it does.
The main two messages that give about the character disability in the film is having about never giving up and embracing who you are. Secondly, the other message about never giving up also circles around Dory, who reminds us all throughout the movie to just keep swimming. Whenever things go wrong, we need to just keep swimming because we can never give up on our goals.
Hey, Mr. Grumpy Gills. When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you gotta do.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming.
Next, the film The Upside 2017 follows Del Scott, a parole struggling to find work after being released from prison. What he thinks is going to be a janitorial job at a fancy apartment turns out to be something completely different, working as a caretaker for Philip, a wealthy quadriplegic wheelchair user. The film tackles the deep subject of living with a disability so well. It touches on misconceptions people have about living with a disability while also accurately showing how society treats those with disabilities. It focuses on how adaptable people with disabilities truly are and how the people around them can make or break their lives. The film also covers heartbreaking realities like rejection and isolation for wheelchair users. However, it balances out these tearful moments with the humorous ways people face their greatest obstacles. The film The Upside will inspire you to find happiness in your life. No matter what obstacles you face, you can enjoy life. The film shows that anyone can be successful and find their way in life if someone just gives them a chance. In the biographical movie My Left Foot, 1989, starring Daniel Day-Lewis as Christy Brown, an artist with cerebral palsy, the audience is viewing a movie that some argue marks a turning point in how people with disabilities are represented in Hollywood film. Christy Brown is shown from his early childhood as independent and resourceful. The only barriers in his life are the misunderstandings, prejudice, and stupidity of those around him. Therefore, this Hollywood depiction supports disability rights activists who assert that there is no pity in disability. It is society's myth, fears, and stereotype that most make being disabled difficult.
I think Malachi is a great painter.
Disability is seen as social and biological construct. The activists who fight for equal rights for disabled people have drawn the attention to how unfair the society treats them. A manifesto was written by Simi Linton in his book entitled Claiming Disability that social model has its own benefits. Social model led people to have a group identity as the conditions of social and politics that make them as a group. It also gives rights to disabled people to have better protections and access in court, so they will not be discriminated and can win for their cases. Social model includes key disabling barriers which are attitudinal, physical and information or communication barriers. Attitudinal barriers explains the attitudes and assumptions from the society towards disabled people that they cannot do anything like work or being independent. The mindset must be abolished as it may hurt the feelings of disabled people.
Are you blind? Are you blind?
Of course not.
Then why do you keep grabbing my goddamn arm? I take your arm.
Meanwhile, physical barriers are what prevent disabled people to have equal access like normal people, such as stairs or public spaces with poor management. The last one is information or communication barriers that prevent disabled people from getting information, such as lack of sign language interpreters. This can be a discrimination towards disabled people.
Come on, Christy. Everybody has to go to bed.
Next is the importance of disability studies. There are two. First, raising awareness. Second, inclusion. For the raising awareness, it helps to educate the people about the issue disabled people face on a daily basis, either it's discrimination or the lack of accessibility. For example, the lack of healthcare, buildings, or transportation. It is an attempt to broaden society's understanding of what is disabled and also encourage people to avoid blindly making assumptions that the people with disability are weak. Plus, there are visible disability and hidden disability. The public might be aware of the visible disability. However, the hidden disability also need awareness. For example, autism, mental health condition, insomnia, and diabetes. Those who suffer from the hidden disability also need attention and help from the public.
While I was in a mental institution, they diagnosed that I have a new thing called Asperger's syndrome, which is a neurobiological, pervasive, developmental disability. I prefer ASPE for short.
Second is inclusion. It is very important to include and create equality and fair opportunity for all, where everyone has a chance to build a life that works for them. For example, more job opportunities and inclusive education system. Disability studies will give people an opportunity to raise public awareness and encourage government to allocate additional funds to facilitate individuals with disability.
Overall, critical disability is a newly formed theory looking into exploring disability groups and projecting its issue as well as highlighting its importance in society today. Hopefully, understanding this theory helps us look into the world with a better understanding of disabilities and its studies.